Hello, everyone. The Collector. Now, I haven't watched this movie in actually a long time. I was going through my videos and DVDs and stuff, and when I saw this movie, I was like, why haven't I watched this in a long time? The Collector's actually a really good movie. So I looked up the director in that, and the director wrote it and directed it, and he wrote and directed the second one, and he wrote and partly directed the third one, and I'll get into that in a little bit. But The Collector actually had a whole different script. A whole different script, and the producers scrapped it, and I think there was also some copyrights because of it as well. The original script to The Collector was supposed to be a pre-sequel to the Saw movie, Jigsaw. And then the producers decided to can it, or they had some copyright problems. I'm not really sure. But they scrapped it, they changed the script to The Collector. Now, The Collector, as you can see in the picture there, he's looking at a house. Now, the story is actually a very simple one, and a lot of actors I've never seen act before. So when I rewatched this is a 2009 movie, I was like, wow, this is the third time I watched it. I watched it first in the theater. Then, and people liked it. People liked it in theater. I always remember that. When you walked out of a movie around that time that was good, people wanted to talk. And you had to wait in lineups to get in. And there was quite a few people waiting in line just to see this movie. The movie only cost $3 million to make. And I'm not sure exactly what it made, but it made its money back and a lot more. But briefly, I'll tell you what it's about. There's a guy that renovates this house. He does work on this house in the middle of nowhere in the forest. There's nobody around, and there's a rich family that owns this house. And he's been working on the house for quite some time. So they liked his work. So they always got him to work a little bit more. But he didn't really want to rob them, but he owed somebody something. He owed somebody something for helping him when he was in jail, that you find out a little later. So as he's knowing the family, the little girl and the older teen, that's actually kind of really cool at the beginning. That was a nice, cool scene. He seems like such a nice guy. And then he gets paid. So he goes to his wife and sees his daughter. But now his wife is in trouble too, that he knows this, and that's why he has to steal this jewel. He knows that the people are going away for a week, so he figures, okay, my wife owes money to a loan shark. I can pay her to pay the loan shark before the loan shark comes after her, and maybe his own kid as well. She got in a little trouble there. So he goes to some people he knows, and that's when you find out he was in jail and how these people helped him in jail. So he basically wanted this to be his last score. He knows they were away, so he goes into the house to get the jewel. Now, he's thinking they're gone, but now some stuff is weird. He hears screaming and something following him in the house. Now he can't leave the house. He can't get out of the house, and there's traps all around the house. So what is truly going on? It is just a crazy, fun, horror, suspenseful movie with really good acting. The scenes are really good, and they don't overuse the composing music. They don't, the scenes are just lighted perfectly, and it seems like it is a Saw movie in a weird way. What does this killer want? What is going on? Can he save these people? Can he get out of the house? I did feel it was a little too long at the end, but it did kind of still work. You know how something feels a little long, but it worked, so I still really enjoyed it. Now, I give this movie, it's an underrated movie, too, because it only has like a 29% Rotten Tomatoes. I was like, how's this possible? And it only has like a 6.3 out of 10. On IMDb. I was like, really? Because if you read the reviews, people really like it. They're going into a suspenseful horror movie. Now, at the beginning, there's something that happens. A couple comes home. They get out of their car. They go in their house. The wife says, I'll see you upstairs. And he goes, you bet. So all of a sudden, the wife screams. And he runs upstairs, and something happens. That's what draws you in. Then you see the other scenes I told you about leading up to something that is just absolutely insane. I personally give this movie an 8 out of 10. I thoroughly enjoyed this one. Then they made a sequel that was much more gorier, sick, a massacre. Someone gets taken. A rich man's daughter gets taken. He hires these people to track down this killer, and it's just crazy. It's crazy insane. Then they were supposed to make, and that's called the collecting. So collector, collecting. And then a third movie, written and directed by the same director. Now, they had some problems with this movie because there were some copyright issues. So they got over the copyright issues. They were filming, then they had to shut down because of COVID. And then when COVID was over, they went back filming and someone broke into the set and stole things. They still say this movie is coming, but it's just taking longer than it needed to be. Because the first was 2009, the second was 2012, and the second one did end in a very twisted note and a very interesting surprise that doesn't happen too often in horror movies. So the second one to me also is underrated, 38% Rotten Tomatoes, and kind of like only a 6 out of 10 on IMDb. I'm not sure why. I'm looking forward to the third one once it's all settled and done, and it's called The Collection. So that's kind of interesting how they did that. But the second one, I would give probably a 7.5. It's not as good as The Collector, but a 7.5 out of 10 for that, or possibly a 7. I personally like the first one slightly better. All right, everyone, bye for now. Check out my movie reviews, food reviews, and much more. And you may recognize some of the actors in these movies. They have done a few things here and there, but nothing that I've seen big, like huge. All right, not that I know of. Maybe they have now. I haven't looked them up in a while. Bye for now. Have an incredible day. Thank you for watching, and check out my movie reviews and much more. Bye for now, everyone.